Welcome to a few moments together on the Parsha. This Shabbos we have the privilege of reading Parshas Sazria, and also to take out two other Sifrei Torah, one in which to read Parshas Hachodesh. The last one, of course, is Parshas Hachodesh, and in between we're going to be reading the reading that normally comes on Rosh Chodesh. So it's going to be the Parsha, Rosh Chodesh, and Parshas Hachodesh. The Chassam Sofer, right at the beginning of Parshas Sazria, tells us that just as the creation of animals preceded the creation of man in Parshas Bereshis at the beginning of the Torah, so too, when it talks about the ability to become pure or impure, tumah or tahor, so too the behemos are mentioned, the animals are mentioned, which animals are tameh and may not be eaten, and which animals may be eaten. So for fish and so for birds. But when it comes to the impurities, despite the fact that the animals are mentioned first, the human being is also mentioned afterwards in this week's Sazria to tell us that the human being, despite being higher in the creation, has the ability to fall even lower than the animals, because after all, an animal can never become tameh when it's alive. When it's dead, yes, but not when it's alive. While human beings can even, unfortunately, fall to the level where we are tameh when alive. And that only happens when we ignore the divine quality that's inside each and every human being, where we take the power of intelligent speech, for example, and lower it down to the depths so that we speak Lashon Hara, God forbid, and attain the status of a Mitzorah, someone who has tzaras. As we explained in the Shir, tzaras is not a physical disease, but rather it's a physical manifestation of a spiritual malaise, of something that's wrong with the inner soul. And so the Chassam Sofer says, we have the ability to be the highest of all of creations, but unfortunately, we can also sink even below the level of the behemoth. It's up to us to choose how we want to be. And Parshas Hachodesh tells us that we can be Chodesh. We can renew and be higher than all of the creations of the world by simply doing those things which are beneficial to the soul of humanity, because we have both a ruach and neshama and a guf. We have a spirit, which is the neshama, and if we raise it, we will expand our horizons and be able to reach godliness. While if, God forbid, we allow the animal to take over within us, that will sink humanity, as unfortunately we see in many cases today. Let's take this opportunity on the Rosh Chodesh Nisan to elevate each and every one of us, the spirit in man that we have, the spirit in humanity, the neshama that gives so much closeness to the divine source that gives us life and helps us to achieve what the Jewish people are capable of achieving. Of course, we have the opportunity to renew ourselves on Parshas Hachodesh, coming to the month of Nisan and redeeming the Jewish people from Egypt, symptomatically and symbolically of the future redemption, which will also come at this time. Shabbat Shalom U'Mevarach.